everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Cardwire. This episode, we're going to do a quick recap of what's happened this offseason. Let's get right into it. Speaking of new stuff, David Johnson has a new helmet. It's pretty cool looking, as you can see here in this picture. I like the design of it. It's really cool. Also, another segue. Speaking of really cool things, there was on the Cardinal subreddit, someone spotted a Bird Gang truck. I mean, I would drive that. It's really kind of dorky, but at the same time, I think it's really cool. Yeah, let's get right into the actual news now, and we're going to start off with the story about Cardinals releasing middle linebacker Daryl Washington. Boys, Daryl Washington, past couple of years, has really let down the Cardinals organization immensely in many ways. I know this is kind of old news at this point, and what has been said, but I think it was the right move. I think if he would have changed, they would have definitely brought him back. But I think they just don't think he has enough remorse in his heart for what he did. I don't think he cares enough. Maybe he'll come back and still be a dominant athlete, but honestly, I don't want the mentality that, I'm just going to do what I want to do for me on a football team. I think, again, right move. I would have wanted to see him, but, I mean, thinking about our middle linebacker core, Hassan, Deion Buchanan, Carlos Dansby, Scooby Wright, I think it's a good group of guys, and if we don't think mentally we need this guy, then we don't need him. Speaking of Scooby Wright, he apparently has been impressing in camp, which, everyone's got to be a Scoob fan, 7th round Scoob, baby. He seems so good in college, and with that injury, it really sucked, and personally, I'm really excited to see what he can do with the Cardinals, especially going to the Wildcats. He's a big run stopper, and Cardinals kind of need a big run stopper at this point. Hassan's a little skinny, Deion's a little skinny. Carlos, obviously, is a run stopper, big tackler. This can add another dimension, I think, though, with Scoob. And if he makes it on the 53-man roster, hell yeah, that's so great. I'd be so happy about that. I think our linebacking core as a whole right now does not need Daryl Washington. I'm very happy with it. Even outside of that, we have, on the outside, we have Marcus Golden and Chandler Jones. Jarvis Jones? I think I'm wrong on that. This guy came from the Steelers. He seems pretty decent. Not a pass rusher, big run stopper guy. Wasn't that happy about him signing, but he seems like a cool guy. Can't get too mad at him. Maybe he'll do something for us. And then we got Kareem Martin, a guy a lot of people forget about, but he's 6'6" and is really fast. So I'm interested to see if he can step up. There's been some times where it looks like he could do some things. So, yeah. Also, with Scoob, I think that he is going to be great on special teams. He was great on special teams. I saw him making special team tackles last year. Was pretty good. So, if he's not a linebacker, maybe he's a special team beast like Lorenzo Alexander was his whole career. I also think that Scoob could play some outside linebacker. So, that'd be interesting to see. On to the next topic. We signed a real American hero, Blaine Gabbert from the 49ers on a 1-year deal for, I think, a league minimum. I think it was $827,000, something like that. I don't know, man. He's just a backup at this point. Maybe, we all know how Bruce Arians, how good he is. And I think Blaine is better than Drew Stanton. You could say, Nick, but we beat the 49ers with Blaine at quarterback and Drew Stanton at quarterback. Drew Stanton was terrible that game. And in Blaine's defense, I think he played a little better than Drew. I could be wrong. But, yeah, Drew Stanton, I think his time as a Cardinal is done. Maybe. But I know Bruce loves Drew. So I think the 3 quarterbacks could be Carson, Blaine, and Drew in that order. Or Carson, Blaine, and Trevor Knight in that order. I think Blaine will be the second-string quarterback. It'll be really interesting this preseason to see who wins that quarterback job, because there is 4 quarterbacks now behind Carson, all fighting for second and third string jobs. Antonio Pipkin, Trevor Knight, Drew Stanton, Blaine Gabbert. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if Blaine wins the second string role. Like I said, I don't think he's the best thing in the world, and it wasn't probably the best money we could have spent, especially with some other quarterbacks out there. If we were looking for a good backup, maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick was looking for too much. Ryan Fitzpatrick as a backup probably would have been pretty good. I think Geno Smith's still out there, and Colin Kaepernick has an arm, but in a way, I don't like Colin Kaepernick more than I don't like Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert seems like a cool dude. Plus, his hair is real nice, and he reminds me of Chandler Catanzaro, who is now gone. Speaking of, Blaine took his number now, so yeah. I guess a handsome blonde dude with long flowing hair, or did he shave his head? Anyway, at one point he had long flowing, beautiful blonde hair. Gets replaced. So let's see. It's interesting to see, but also at the same time, who cares? He's the backup quarterbacks. But Carson's injuring history. We might be in a pinch, and need a backup. And the best backup will help us win a game. Blaine showed flashes. I will say that. Little flashes all last season when I watched 49ers game. Little flashes. I know he got benched, but 49ers was a shit show all around. The next topic is John Brown. Let's talk about John Brown, my boy. John Brown 2 years ago was so good. Ridiculous, honestly. Him and Carson had a connection, and then sickle cell hit him. Sickle cell, and he just didn't seem like the same wide receiver. Which sucks, because I really enjoyed watching him play. And apparently now, he's healthier than ever. So, but that's what a lot of people say. But I think if he can come back, go back to being 2015 John Brown, him, Chad, Jerron, and Larry, oh my God. And JJ, I don't think people realize we have a really good 5. I'm not a big fan of Britton Golden, but we did bring in some wide receivers that I think Britton Golden won't be on the team next year. He's a decent special teams player. I don't think Britton Golden will stay. That's a totally different thing. I'm not a fan of Britton Golden. I think we have some younger wide receivers that can uproot him. They're coming on from undrafted free agency, and we could see a really good 6 here this year. Yeah, but John Brown, if he comes back, if he's off, even one of the best slot wide receivers in the league. Rosenthal, a reporter for ESPN, I believe, or NFL Network, said we were the most improved team post-draft. That's not a big story to talk about, but I like it. I agree with it. I think we're one of the most, if not the most, I think we're great this year. I think it's going to be a good year. I'm very happy about how this year's going. 2 last topics to talk about. Jim Hart is joining the Cardinals Ring of Honor. I kind of like this. It's cool. I wasn't allowed to see Jim Hart play, but I looked him up. Had some pretty great stats. He's probably one of the best Cardinals quarterbacks ever. And I liked when he announced, I think, our second pick, he said, "Thanks for remembering." And I really liked that. I thought it was really funny. A little meme. Throw a little meme like that. Throw a little meme in the air. I don't think anyone respected that. But if you did, comment. Tell me. What do you think about Jim Hart's little joke? And then one more topic to talk about is Keim was talking about how they didn't want to force a quarterback pick. And I think a big part of that is because I think we would have picked Deshaun or Pat Mahomes in the first round. Am I glad we didn't? I don't know. You know how big of an advocate I was for Pat Mahomes and Deshaun. Am I upset that we didn't get either of them? No. I think Hassan's a great pick. Yeah. So I'm glad we didn't force one. But I think in the later rounds, we could have got Chad Kelly in the 7th if we wanted to. If we didn't trade up to get Rudy Ford. Or we could have got Josh Dobbs. There was a couple young quarterbacks, but hey, like I was talking about, we got Blaine, we got Drew, we got these backups. We don't have a quarterback of the future. But next year's quarterback draft, is that thing deep. Man, Jake Browning is a guy I think about. Luke Falk, guys from Washington, Luke Falk, Jake Browning. The Darnold, I hope we're not high enough to get the Darnold. That would suck. That would really suck to be that high. I don't think we can get Darnold at pick 32. So, but there is some great quarterbacks, I think, coming out this year that if we get Bruce with them for 1 year, moist. It'll be moist. It'll be great. And then I just wanted to say a little quick thing for the future of Cardwire. The next video will be about why people became Cardinals fans. I know that a lot of people were probably expecting that video this week, but I just want that to be a good video, and that'd be a separate one. And I just wanted to get one out now instead of waiting. I thought that'd be a good episode 5, a little milestone video, getting to 5. And I also will be addressing the mic problem pretty soon. Camera boys will probably have to stay the same for a while. In other news, thanks for watching. I love doing this. Please hit like, share with your friends. It means a lot. And thanks for watching.
Hey. Got rocks for my papers, turn my problems into vapors, sending my thoughts cicadas, spend no mind on a hater, calling me, I hit her later.